Hey everyone, welcome back to Wild Tony Farms, and today we're going to be getting into a new video. And before we get into the video, please go on and click the thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel if you're new here. Let's go on and get into the video. Can y'all hear me now? My mic was muted, it was on 0, so y'all should hear me now. I just went into the top thing and my mic was all the way at 0. I really don't know why it would be, but let me know if y'all can hear me. Y'all should hear me now, because okay, there you go. I think some people can hear me. I hope so. The last 2 live streams, I've had some technical difficulties. So, well, I don't think y'all were able to see the intro. So, as y'all can see on the intro, we're going to be talking about Tracheal Mites and have fun tonight, as we did last week. Hope everybody can hear me. It looks like everybody can hear me now, so good thing there. I've been before this live stream, I was trying to do 2 separate cameras. I'm going to be running with 1 camera this evening because it's so much more simpler. And then on the next live stream, I might try to do some other cameras and have that a little bit ready in advance. I didn't really have it ready at the time I needed to have it ready. So if y'all would go and click the thumbs up button, share the live stream out if y'all would. I would appreciate if y'all would get this out to more viewers and things like that, so maybe they can learn some stuff. Before we do get into a presentation, I kind of want to talk a little bit about what's going on here. It's really not a whole lot, honestly. It's just been added a box recently, try to get the bees to expand, and it double deep. I've really not ran, double deeps for a while, but I decided I'd add another deep with some drawn comb on and decided that I'd run that for one colony and probably, hopefully, all the others as well to have some quality splits when I split. So I have multiple options. If I want to do 5-frame splits, I'll be able to make 4 out of 1, or if I just want to split in the middle, I can do that as well. I have multiple options on splits this year, as long as all my double deeps are the way I want them to. So that's the plan there. And today I also did do a video. I kind of was doing a video for a swarm trap. I was setting out a swarm trap. I really been needing to do that. So I did that today and I recorded it. So that will be uploaded this Saturday at 10 a.m. All my videos have been uploaded on Saturday 10 a.m. so far. I'm kind of doing a little bit more quality over quantity, as I kind of spoke on last week, but we won't go into that again because I know most of you folks have probably already heard me talk about that. But that's what's going on here. Our bees are expanding. I inspected one today, a smaller one, but even the smaller ones are still pretty strong, pretty healthy. A little difference between weak colonies, a small colony and a weak colony, and a small colony, but it's strong and it's healthy. So all my hives are good. They're looking great. I'm really looking forward to the season ahead. I'm sure everybody else is as well. So I want to kind of go through the comments real quick as we look at who's in here. We have Tim and Hannah from Gunline Bees. Good to see y'all. Glorious Vids. Good to see y'all as well. Thanks for checking in. Richard at Richard's Honeybees. Collect Rick. So good to see you. J3GS Bees. Good to see you. Thanks for checking in. We have Russell Kootman. Thanks for checking in, Russell. Good to see you. We also have Randy of the Tar Heel Beekeeper. So thank you, Randy, for also checking in. I'm sure multiple other folks will join in as the live stream goes on. So let me go and pull up this presentation real quick. It'll just give me just a second. If you didn't see our live stream, it took me like 3 minutes to get everything ready. And before this live stream, everything started, I was muted. So I exited out this presentation. So everything's not fully ready just yet, which shouldn't take me long to put this up on screen. There we go. There we go. Now let me put this presenter view. Now let me kind of get this right here, because I don't want that black stuff in there. There we go. All right, that's good. So today we're going to be talking about Tracheal Mites. There we go. I had to open this up. So this is pretty much everything you really need to know about Tracheal Mites. It's probably a lot of folks probably haven't heard about Tracheal Mites. They're not as big of a threat, but they still can cause some problems in the hive. So this is going to be a quick 4-slide thing of everything you need to know about Tracheal Mites. Also, if y'all would, please go and click the thumbs up button on y'all's way in, and go on and subscribe to the channel if you are new, and share the live stream out. And also, feel free to ask some questions. I would really appreciate it. Right now, I really can't see my thing, so that's the only problem. So I'm not going to be able to read comments. So I'll just hopefully, not mess anything up. So first off, let's just kind of talk about what are these things. As you can see on the left and right, that's kind of what it looks like. The healthy and the infested trachea. So tracheal mites are parasites that live inside a honeybee's breathing tubes, called trachea. That's why they're called tracheal mites. These tiny mites attach to the walls of the tubes and feed on the bee's blood-like fluid, known as hemolymph. So bees' blood isn't real. We have blood, but we as bees we call it hemolymph, which is equivalent to blood. Over time, their presence damages the tracheal lining, making it harder for the bee to breathe. Because tracheal mites live inside the bee, they are invisible to the naked eye, unlike varroa mites. But varroa mites still are not really visible, but they're much smaller. But you can see them time to time. I've seen a couple on a bee before. Which can be seen on the outside of the bees. The tracheal mites require a microscope to detect. These parasites weaken bees by reducing their oxygen intake, which can lead to disorientation, weakness, and even death in severe cases. The tracheal mites spread from bee to bee through close contact, especially when bees groom or cluster together in cooler weather. They are most harmful to young worker bees, whose tracheal tubes are soft and easier for the mites to invade. Left unchecked, a heavy infestation can weaken an entire colony, making it more vulnerable to other stresses like cold weather, diseases, and poor nutrition. So while tracheal mites really won't kill the bees, like kill them like varroa mites can with their viruses, tracheal mites can weaken a colony. But we'll talk a little bit more about kind of defending against them, which most beekeepers have kind of found a way to do. But how now? Here's where we get to getting rid of tracheal mites, which you can use thymal oils, etc. Anything that you can use with treatments and stuff like that. But natural resistant genetics are one of the best ways to do so. But like I said, it does require a combination of proper treatments, hive management, and selecting strong, resistant bee stock. One of the most effective treatments is menthol crystals, which release vapors that kill the mites inside the bees' breathing tubes. Another method for controlling tracheal mites is using essential oils, particularly thymol. Thymol works by disrupting the mites and making the hive environment less hospitable to them. This treatment is often applied as a vapor or mixed with food sources for the bees. One of the biggest things to just, keeping your bees alive or, keep them strong is choosing mite-resistant bee stock, which is pretty much the main thing beekeepers do. That's why we really don't hear much talk about tracheal mites, which they do weaken colonies, but most beekeepers can breed up some somewhat resistant bee stock, which don't have much of a problem with tracheal mites. But some honeybee strains, such as Russian and buckfast bees, have shown greater natural resistance to tracheal mites compared to other breeds. These bees have genetic traits that help them either limit mite reproduction or tolerate infestations better than some other genetics would. Introducing these resistant genetics into an apiary can help reduce long-term problems with tracheal mites. Maintaining strong and healthy colonies is also key to preventing and managing tracheal mites infestations. Bees that have access to good nutrition and minimal stress are better equipped to handle mite challenges, and that is also with varroa mites as well. Pretty much any mites. There are a whole lot of other mites that we can talk about, Treplolaps and a whole bunch of others. I think I can't remember if somebody asked me to do like a presentation or a live stream about this exact topic, or if it was something different. I really can't remember, but now let's kind of talk about the science behind them, which is really I find pretty interesting. And science behind anything really when we're doing presentations are really interesting, especially bees and things that hurt them. But tracheal mites are microscopic parasites that live and reproduce inside the breathing tubes, the trachea, of adult honeybees. These mites interfere with the bee's ability to take in oxygen, leading to weakened flight muscles, reduced lifespan, and increased colony stress. The science behind their impact on bees involves their life cycle, how they spread, and the damage they cause. The life cycle of the tracheal mites begin when a female mite enters a young adult's bee trachea, usually within 24 hours of the bee emerging from its cell. Inside the trachea, the female lays eggs that hatch into larvae, which then develop into adult mites. This entire process takes about 10 to 14 days. As the mites feed on the bee's hemolymph, the bee's blood, they damage the trachea lining, creating scar tissue that reduces airflow. Over time, this scarring leads to a lack of oxygen, weakening the bee's flight muscles and overall energy levels. Trachea mites spread through direct contact between bees, especially when they groom or cluster together. In cooler temperatures in the winter, and sometimes early spring when it sometimes can get kind of cooler. Since bees rely on tight clustering to stay warm in winter, the mites can easily move from one bee to another. This explains why infestations tend to worsen in colder months. The mites prefer young adult bees because their trachea tubes are softer. The mites prefer young adult bees because their trachea lining tubes are softer and easier to penetrate. Scientific research has shown that tracheal mite infestations can weaken a colony's immune systems, which making bees more vulnerable to other diseases and viruses and other mites. Studies have also found that bees with high mite loads have reduced foraging efficiency. as their flight muscles don't receive enough oxygen to sustain normal activity. Colonies with heavy infestations may experience high winter losses because the bees are too weak to survive long periods of clustering. Some honeybee strains have shown natural resistance to Tracheal mites, and scientists have discovered that certain genetic traits help reduce mite infestation, such as increased grooming behavior or adaptations that make the tracheal environment less suitable for mites. Selective breeding programs have focused on developing mite-resistant bee stocks such as Russian and buckfast bees, which have shown lower infestation rates compared to other breeds. And that is the end of our presentation. Really didn't take long, 10 minutes. So I kind of said that it wouldn't really take too long. We got 13 here. Good to see y'all. We have Red Tim. So good to see y'all. That's pretty much it. Let me go on and close this out. We've gone for 15 minutes so far. There we go. So like I said, tracheal, most beekeepers, will get more resistant bees. But if y'all have any questions, please ask them. I would appreciate that. So let me make sure I didn't miss anybody. I see Keith. Let's see who else we got in here. We got Keith. I know Keith. Yep, that's Keith and Russell, and Tim. So good to see y'all. I'm just gonna try to go back up here into the comments and see if I missed any, because when I'm doing these presentations, I pretty much can't really see many comments when I'm doing it. And Mike Tangway. So good to see you, Mike. Nope, I don't think there's really too many. Yep. All right, good. Let's see. Tim from Redbeard Hives, aka Tim Sanders, says trying to get from 2 hives to 10 this year. That's a good idea. I'm sure you can get there. Right now, I have 4 colonies. I want to try to at least get to 8, and any more than that's pretty good. That's going to be my goal. I would say to get up to 8 colonies, which is very doable. Like most people would think. Let me do that. But I plan to do some walkaway splits. I talked a lot about that last week on our last live stream. I plan to, depends on how, I really don't know for sure exactly which, if I'm gonna do 5 frame splits, 10 just double deep takeaway, just 1 deep, having a double deep and taking 1 deep away with the queen and leaving the colony. A walkaway split would be a very strong colony. Or if I wanted to make more hives, I could do double deep and just do 5 frame splits, making 4 out of 1, which I could also do, but it just depends on how everything goes. If they are really, really strong, and I think I can do that, then I'll absolutely do that. But at the same time, it just really depends on how everything goes. I can do a double deep and just take a deep away and have a very strong colony, which is already strong, and as long as both deeps are even and all that good stuff, then I can do that as well. Just really honestly depends. Same here. Went to sea for the first time yesterday and both survived winter and doing strong. I'm a happy beekeeper. That's good, Tim. I'm glad to hear that your bees got through winter. I went in with 6, came out with four colonies, which I wouldn't say it's terrible. That's, I don't know what I take it out to, like a 60% survival rate or something, 65, which is much better compared to what I've had before. There was one time where last year or the year before, going from 2023 to 2024, I came out with only 1 colony, which is terrible, and I was able to get up to 7, 8, 9, 10, but we went in with 6, now down to 4. So that's kind of where I'm at right this second. Now, real quick, you guys may not hear me for just a second. I'm gonna wait for a couple more questions, in we'll talk a little more about bees. Feel free to put some questions in there. I was just about to say, and click the thumbs up button. My thing's about to run out of battery. I don't want to run out of battery on y'all, so let me just move some stuff out of the way so I can do. I'm just gonna plug my thing in real quick, and then we'll go from there. I'm really looking forward to bee season because there's really haven't been a whole lot to talk about, so far. I mean, these topics I've been able to kind of come up with and talk about, which has been fun. But I just kind of wanted to get to the bee season where I'll be able to actually show you guys what's going on in my colonies. and stuff like that, which most people are also really looking forward to as well. Probably about to go out on y'all on the audio, so just don't panic. I'll be right back. There we go. I should still hear me there. There we go. Now should be all the way charged now. There we go. Oh, actually, I'm gonna have to do something different here. I'm gonna have to unplug this camera. There we go. There we go. I didn't want to run out of power or anything. So, if y'all have any questions, feel free to put them in the comment section. I'd really appreciate it. Now, let me make sure I'm still doing okay. Because tonight's been kind of, kind of weird with all my audio stuff. I'm still going good. There we go. A question from Tim. It says, Grayson, I've been told to use double mediums with only frames, and one is best for swarm traps. Your thoughts? Let me make sure I'm understanding that right. I don't want to answer the question wrong. I've been told to use double mediums. Like double mediums. Like I get you. With only frames in one is best for swarm traps. Your thoughts? Yes, and I did a swarm trap, and I put out some swarm traps, recently today, and I did the same thing, but I used nukes. So what I did was I had an empty nuke in the bottom, and then I had another one on top with one bait comb and the rest 4 empty comb, because Philip over there, RTX Honeybees, he left a comment a while back recommending that, having more space, for the bees. The bees would most likely have more space. So yes, that is true. I think a lot of beekeepers do it, including me. I'm trying that out. I'm gonna do some tests and see how it works this year. I'm really looking forward to seeing how everything goes. We're gonna see how all that goes. I'm looking forward to trying to catch some swarms. I've never really caught any swarms in a swarm trap. That's why I had some recommendations on that in the video. I really don't remember exactly what video it was in. I think I was showing a the swarm traps that they weren't really successful or anything. Especially last year they really weren't. So this year I'm gonna try it again, and we're gonna see how that works. Yeah, that works good, Grayson. Yes, I'm thinking it's gonna go good. I did a video, and it's gonna be uploading this Monday night at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. Excuse me, it's going to be uploaded at 10 a.m. Saturday mornings. So it'll already be ready to upload. I haven't scheduled it just yet, but it will be out scheduled very soon. I usually put it on members only and let it publish from that. So if you're a member, you can see it early. What else was I going to talk about? That's right. This coming up March is going to be a pretty good year for live streams. I'm going to be having some guests on, which I'm really looking forward to. Next week I'll be having Blake Shook on from the Bee Supply. That'll be a good chat. And then the 10th and 17th, I have some guests in mind that I want to get on. I haven't yet scheduled anybody for that. And then the 24th, I'll be having Brian Coper from Castle House. So that's the lineup so far, and I'll let y'all know how everything goes and what's next to keep y'all updated. So that's the lineup for the time being. And I actually did send out some more emails for my live streams, so I can get some more people on here soon in the next couple days. If y'all would go and click the thumbs up button, I would really appreciate it. Free bees. Yep, free bees is the best bees you can have. I mean, having those gen eggs out there, that's really good for our, climates. That's kind of that's been adapted to our climates. It's really good. Tim and Hannah, good question. Yes, we've done that before. And we've thought about it. I've thought about it before, and had a BR before. I think you and Tim and Hannah were part of the YouTube channel when I did it. There was just one BR that I did. I put it down at the creek. I did a tour. Y'all be able to kind of a property tour. If y'all don't know what kind of how our layout is, I'd really suggest for you to go to that video and watch it and be able to know exactly how the layout is kind of shaped out and stuff. I would really suggest watching that video so you'll know. But I had at the creek, it's the creek flow, and I put some bees down there. At the most, I had 4 colonies, but unfortunately got robbed out. and some absconded, and some were too weak. So that bee yard really didn't last long. But I really do in the future want to do some more, do another bee yard once my bee yard here gets a little bit too full. So yes, I'm planning on making another bee yard later on in the future. Probably not this year because I have enough stands and everything in the original bee yard to do everything I need to do. Get up to 8 hives or maybe more. Just really depends on how everything goes. Because one thing I always say in my live streams, my videos, is that it really depends on what happens and how the flow is. Because really it does. Because you can't really be for certain on what's going to happen. Especially down here with how everything goes. Because we actually recently had a cold snap, and there's still some pollen coming in, which is good. Hopefully that won't mess up anything. I'd really hate for it to, because we had a lot of pollen coming in, and hopefully some nectar. I'm really not sure, but I do know we've been having a lot of pollen coming in, and a good amount of pollen too. And here soon we're going to be having our privet and our tallow, which will be another couple week or two, maybe, depends really, but it's going to be very, very soon. Probably early March. And then once that privet flow starts getting going, then everything will get going. But I've been having a lot of brood in my colonies, which is a wonderful thing to have. For a lot of northern beekeepers, they're not even halfway ready yet. But for me, I'm ready to go. I have brood in every single colony. The queens are laying good in every single colony. I actually recently checked a small colony, like I said, kind of at the start of the live stream. I checked it, and it was really good. A good colony, 3 frames of bees. It's a smaller colony, but it is still doing very good. It has a lot of bees in it, and the brood starting to hatch, which is a great thing as well for my bees. So everything is going great for the time being, and I'm looking forward to how things go in the future. And I can't wait for doing some more videos about that, everything that goes on this year, because hopefully we'll have a pretty good year and get up to what we want. And here soon, I'm going to be starting to feed a little bit. So I showed this on a live stream 2 weeks ago, and just some brood booster that I plan to use here soon. I recently ordered it. We recently ordered it a little bit ago, a while back, and was able to. I'm going to use it a little bit here very, very soon. So be about that time where I'm going to need to start feeding. Probably in the next couple of days is probably when I'm really going to need to build these bees up, because that's what I want. But my bees have been building up fine without it, but it's always a good thing to have a little bit of extra there so I can start taking in some food. I was going to, put a little bit of our WSFA thing of what our temperatures are. I kind of forgot to put that all together, so I don't really have that at my disposal. Anyone know where white pollen comes from? Good question. I'm sure you probably need to go to a pollen guide or a pollen colors thing. Let me see if I can find one real quick. I was sent one a while back, if I can remember correctly. Somebody sent a link. Probably don't have it anymore, but you can probably just go somewhere and find like a pollen color, and it'll kind of tell you what it's from. It's kind of pretty. That's pretty cool. I kind of looked at it a little bit, and I saw the privet and the tallow and stuff like that, which is local to here, but that'd probably become. Yeah, probably could be from Witch Hazel. Good evening, Tom and Melissa. Thanks for checking in. Via Honeybees, we had them on a live stream recently. But yeah, I've been having a lot of yellow pollen coming in lately. Mainly yellow and a little bit of darkish red pollen's been mainly coming in lately. I was trying to look up about the red pollen. I really didn't know where red pollen comes from. I still really don't know, because I was looking at it and trying to research about it. I really need to do more, but I'm really not sure exactly where the red pollen would be coming from this time. Because I'm really honestly not for sure. All of the the pollen and stuff that we have, and all the trees, everything. I know we have clover, and the tallow and privet, which I talk about all the time, which which is good for our bees. But I want to do more research on stuff like that, which I've done before, but I couldn't really figure out where the red pollen came from, because it wasn't really. I was looking up everywhere; it really wasn't giving me precise answers, so I really couldn't figure out exactly what it was, but I plan to do a little more research and figure out kind of where it comes from. But nevertheless, we've been having a lot of pollen coming in, which is good for our queen to start our queens to start laying the way I need them to. And then here soon start doing splits. That's the plan. So if y'all ask for a plan, that's pretty much it. Just try to expand double this year to 8, and anything more than that is great. If y'all have any more questions, feel free to put them in there. I usually do these live streams by myself once in a while, but here soon, like I said, I'll be having some guests on this March, so that'll be good to do that. It's been like 2 weeks since I've got a guest on. Last guest I got was Jake from My House on the Hill, and that was a good live stream and all that. So I plan to get more live streams on. Stay tuned. It's gonna be fun stuff. I'm really looking forward to what we have, in the future. I do want to make sure I didn't miss anything because all these comments do fly by very fast. It's kind of hard to go by. Make sure y'all click that thumbs up button. I'd appreciate it. How many colonies do you have right now? I have 4 right now. At the time being 4 colonies. I went in with 6 and came out with 4, which isn't terrible comparing that I went in with 6 one year and came out with 1 around this time of the year. So that's a big improvement. There's still some improvements I want to make so I can be better at what I do, with my bees and all. But so far, I think I've done a decent job going through winter compared to some years prior. But what I need to do is just kind of sustain that here in the next couple of months. This whole year, stay at a number and kind of stay at that. It's kind of what I want to do. I've always really wanted to do that, kind of try to stay sustainable, which has been kind of not happen. But that's kind of what I want to do this year. Is be a little bit more sustainable. But yep, 4 colonies. They're all looking good. 2 that have like 5, 7, 8 frames of bees, and the other 2 have 4 to 30 frames of bees. They're looking very nice. Even the smaller ones, and you may be wondering, are they weak or whatever? But they're strong, smaller colonies. Which through winter they were pretty small, like 2 frames of bees going to winter, but they are still very strong, 2 to 3 frames, which isn't terrible. But so far, if those bees can get through spring and all, and they get big and all that good stuff, that'll be something for me to think about going in the future about going through winter with a very big colony, which does eat up more resources, or have a smaller colony but still very healthy. So even if you have a small colony, as long as it is healthy, a healthy colony, you can still get them through winter, but you have to do it the right way, which I've fed them all winter long, and everything I needed to do, which I did. And here I am now with the colonies, and they're still looking good. They're in a 10 frame box. They are not in a nuke, which they could be, but they are in a 10 frame box because I went in with a 10 frame equipment. All the hives are in 10 frame equipment because I had a question last week about 8 frame equipment and so on. Right now, I am all in 10 frame equipment, and all the bees are doing well. So that's pretty much it about that. There isn't really a whole lot more to talk about, like I would say. If you all weren't here earlier, I did set up a swarm trap today. I plan to do more swarm traps. In the video, y'all will see that I only set out 1, but I do plan on to do more because I do want to catch more swarms. I just did it for the video to just do 1. Tim and Hannah, have you thought about making your hive stands and sell them to backyard beekeepers? And that's a good question, and I have absolutely thought about that. And I'm not sure, if I'm going to do it, which I think I can make some money off of that, sell it to some backyard beekeepers who could use it. I think they would like it, and I'll see in the future. I've wanted to do that, and I've definitely thought about it. And I've also planned to hopefully sometime in the future build some equipment and sell equipment as well. But so far, we're going to kind of focus on the bees so far, and we're going to try to do some of that as well. I'll keep y'all informed. If I plan to do something different, I'll do a video about it, which y'all will be able to see on Saturday morning. But also, I did want to mention that also on Thursdays, I'm going to kind of put out some segments of live streams. I used to do that, put out segments with just some good topics of the live streams that I've had in the past with beekeepers and folks that I've had in the past, and I put some more. I did some more segments. So I did one for the time being, 7 in total, but from one live stream with Greg Burns a while back, which was some good segments I was able to clip out of it, and those will be doing every Thursday, in the morning or in the afternoon or whatever. You'll see those. That's what I'm starting to do those again. It's very fun to do so. I've done multiple ball bending, segments, and some with I did do one with Greg, and then I also did one with Chris Warner and Bruce and David Burns and multiple other people. So I did one. I want to kind of continue on that series with so people can see those little segments, and maybe they want to see that one topic and not have to go through the whole live stream and find it. But even if you are rewatching, I hope you can rewatch and comment and see what happened in the live stream, which I really do greatly appreciate. I would appreciate if y'all would click the thumbs up button and share out. I would appreciate it. So, what else to talk about? That's pretty much about it. That's the thing about this time of year. There ain't a whole lot to talk about to do yet. But all I do, that's kind of what my plan to do, is just to expand. Hopefully, I really do need to start feeding, though. That's really something I do need to do. Some sugar water feeding. I do plan to do some open feeding as well, because I do need to do that as well to minimize robbing. Last year I didn't have bad of a robbing problem, but 2023 it was terrible robbing everything, which I really think it was just because of that cold snap in the DERF, which was kind of ate us alive. Last year wasn't as bad. The fall flow wasn't as good, but it was still decent. It wasn't really bad at all. Bobby Park, thanks for checking in. Got 20 folks on here. Thank y'all for joining in tonight to our beekeeping chat. We do these every Monday night if y'all are not here, if y'all are new here, but we do these every Monday night, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. Go for about an hour. We've already gone 37 minutes, so we'll probably end off in 23 minutes. Question, I think, from Glorious Vids. I talked to a guy that uses light sugar water mix to spray on swarms when catching. What it does, it distracts the bees to keep them there longer, giving him more time to catch it. Yeah, any tips like that? Yeah, that's a pretty good question. I've heard about that before, to keep them there longer. I've never done that before. The only whenever I went to catch a swarm, all I did was I just took my bee vac and sucked them up, vacuumed them up, and take them back on home and put them in a box. But I think that could work as well. And I wonder if that would calm them down as well. Probably could. But yeah, I think that's a good thing to do. I mean, I don't see how that would hurt them or anything. It'd do good for the swarms and stuff. But whenever I, catch them, I probably could do that. I'd probably keep them there longer. Now, also, like I said, I kind of go back to that. It depends on how long they're there, because sometimes when they're there for like maybe a day or two, or maybe even longer, sometimes they might kind of fly away and stuff like that sooner. Depends on what scenario you are in. That's the one thing I do want to mention. If I'm giving an answer, really honestly depends on your scenario and what's going on and what you're doing, I would say. So yeah. But yeah, I also do want to catch more swarms and some cutouts. Last year I actually did one cutout. Unfortunately, the hive is not here in either genetics or anything. But it's always good to have experience with something, and I did have that experience cutting out that cutout. It was a video a while back in a mobile home, and it's pretty interesting. And I always think about that. Right when I started, I thought this was impossible. It was pretty too hard to get under the thing. I had to get in a weird position to be able to come up there and get the hive out, a lot of comb and a good amount of bees. But I was able to have a little knife and cut open the section to get to the bees, and I was able to successfully remove it. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to successfully keep them alive. I can't remember exactly what happened. I think they got kind of small. Now there's, like I said, when I talk about small, I should probably say weak. a very weak, small colony. If you have a small and healthy colony, that's different. But if you have a very small and weak colony, then those bees probably won't, stay alive for long. They'll probably die out. But that's what I'm trying to do better at, is keep my hives healthy and keep them strong. Which, going to winter, I did that, and I have two that's bigger and two that's smaller. I think the big difference of having a smaller, healthy colony is sometimes they don't eat as much honey, or eat as much of the resources that you put in there, which can reduce the amount you put in there, and it lasts longer, which gives us beekeepers a longevity of our sugar and maybe not spend as much. But yeah, I do remember that's good to have the experience. I'm hoping to do some more cutouts this year. I'm really hoping to, and if I get any calls, I'll do a video about it and show you guys along the way. So this year, I'm going to be doing more what I'm doing and how I do videos. The past couple of weeks I've been doing a lot of videos on how this, and what's going on, that type of content, a how to type video and stuff like that. And I'm deciding that I'm going to kind of do a little bit more of how I do and what I do, and so I honestly find more joy out of it. I do like to do these videos on how to, but a lot of times those videos, just sometimes not as fun to do as the videos where I just go out and show you guys what I'm doing. I find those videos so much more fun, and I really enjoy doing those videos, which I'm sure a lot of people enjoy watching them as well. I'm sure people enjoy watching the how-to videos, but I'm just going to switch to how I do. I'm still going to do how-to videos once in a while if I have an idea that's good, but mainly going to do how I do videos, and we try to do kind of like Mike. Yep, I'm going to be like Mike. See how I do and everything like that. So, yep, that's what I'm gonna do. More videos of the beehives. I'm gonna have hopefully have good topics each week of what is going on, and upload once a week and have some good quality videos. I mean, that's just kind of what my goal on the YouTube channel is, have some good quality videos for folks who want to watch it. If you have any more questions, feel free to answer. We have 18 more minutes of this chat. This 18 minutes won't last too long, but I'll answer a couple more questions and kind of slowly head on out. Kind of went fast. I mean, we didn't really spend too much time on Tracheal Mites. I've not been doing as long presentations as sometimes I do. Sometimes they're longer, sometimes they're shorter. Depends on what the topic is and what I have ready for the topic. Excuse me. A lot of talking. Hey, Frank. How do you provide water for your bees? Just make sure you have a water source around. Make sure you have a water source available. If you don't have like a river or a creek or a lake or anything nearby, you can just put like a bucket out, or have a bird bath and put some pine straw or rocks on it and put a little water in there, and it provides some water to your bees. It's very important. I actually did have a video a while back, and I tried to re-promote it a little bit so more people could see it. It's kind of pretty cool you asked that, because I've actually been working on that video to get it back out into, I guess you'd call the algorithm, to get out to more beekeepers. It's a while back. It's just called, I think it's called a step-by-step guide of how to provide water for your bees or something like that. You can search it up on channel if y'all are curious or anything, and that video is there. Next question from Gunlon Bees. Are you seeing maple or anything blooming yet? I'm sure there's some maple around here. I've been asking around, and I need to do more research. I believe maples are here in Alabama, because I've been seeing a lot of red pollen coming in, like a lot of that red dark pollen. Y'all can answer in the comments, but is that maple? Is that most likely maple? Because I'm really not sure about that. If it is, that's what it is coming in. But I just know there's been a touch bit of red pollen coming in, and a lot of yellow pollen coming in, which I really don't know exactly what that yellow pollen is. Let me think. If I've seen anything out, not really. I've been seeing some flowers that I have no idea what the names are. But I know the privet will be here soon. I know that privet's usually always messes up with my allergies. I hate privet for that, but I really do like privet for my bees. Same with tallow. But yeah, probably I'm seeing a couple things bloom. I'm not exactly what it is, but I believe maple is a green tint. Yeah, probably so. Let's see. I use a kids pool for chickens, and the bees use the landing board I made them. That's good. You can use that as well for providing water for your bees. You can set out a pool, or a bird bath, or a bucket for that matter. Just make sure you have somewhere where your bees can land. Grayson, how many hives do you got now? I have 4 colonies, Randy. They are pretty good, decent, strong colonies, and I'm really looking forward to how spring goes. I'm sure everybody else is, so I'll let y'all know how everything goes and what happens going into spring. But it's here before we know it. We're one day closer to spring, which I'm ready for. I'm done with the cold weather. It's been much more warmer the last couple of days. I really don't know exactly what the temperatures are right now. I know today was like 64 degrees, which is very nice. The bees were flying, and it was the low was like maybe like 37 or 40, something like that. I really have no idea. I can't really remember exactly, but it's somewhere around that number. See if I can go through the comment section. If you have any more questions, feel free to put them in there. You looking to grow your numbers? Yes, I am looking to grow. I have 4 colonies right now, and I am happy to get up to 8. And if I get up to more, that's pretty good as well. Um, I don't want to do it too much, but I'm hoping very soon. Are all your bees? Oh, give me a second. This light flickered off. Been having problems with that as well. I just gotta plug it back in. But the question was from Frank at Galloway Lights. Are all your bees brooding yet? Yes, all of them are brooding. Frank, they're a lot of good brood, great brood patterns. Really, I'm really happy with the way the queens are laying. I really couldn't be happier. As I believe, all of them have brood in the colonies, and the queens are laying. And here soon, like I said, I'm gonna boost them even more with this stuff right here. It's a brood booster. I kind of showed it off a little bit. I promise I'm not sponsored or anything, but I am gonna be using that just for my bees. And also, I also use Apis Biologics, which I also really like. So I'm gonna use that to brood up even more, because I really want my bees to start growing rapidly now, because that's kind of what I want. So then I can start splitting here mid-March, late March, maybe even early April. March, April, May, time for splitting. If I can do a couple, like get up to 8 colonies doing the way I want to do, around March 3rd, March, in middle March or late March, or even early April, which is kind of the time to do, is kind of which I'm happy to do. It just depends on when they get into swarm mode. That's kind of my plan, is whenever they get into swarm mode, that's what I'm going to do. So then, once you have those swarm cells in the hives, I have options. I have an option to do a 5-frame split with a double deep, or even a single. I have an option to do a 3 frame splits, and I have options to just do a walkaway split, like one double, with the 2 double deeps, take one away and put it around there. I've already talked about that, but Bobby Park, that's my granddad, and he asked, "What have y'all noticed any pollen on the pine trees yet?" I've kind of don't think so yet. For some reason, I thought I did see a couple, but not a lot. But I think very, very soon, there's going to be some more pine on our pine trees, which we have a lot of. JP the Bee Man has a video on the red pollen down this way, but I can't remember what he said what it is. You have to look into that. Watched his. I know he hasn't really uploaded recently, but I'm sure he has some videos back then. I'm sure if it's titled red pollen or something like that, I probably can find it easy. Because I'm curious on what that red pollen could be, because I'm really curious what it is. I'm really not sure. I mean, I haven't seen a lot lately, the past couple of days or anything, but right whenever it started that yellow pollen started to get going, there was a good amount of yellow pollen in multiple colonies coming in, which is pretty interesting to see. I wish I got a photo of it so I could show y'all, but it was pretty interesting to see. Probably dead nettle or henbit. Probably could be Jessica. Thanks for checking in. The red pollen. Yeah, it's probably what it could be. I really do need to do more research on that to know for sure. But that's probably what it is. Because I'm not the biggest guy on pollen and stuff, but I did do some research on that, just kind of basic stuff of what I have and what's kind of local here and what the colors are to the names like privet and tallow and basic stuff like that. Dandelions and clover. And that kind of leads me to this next question from Let's Be Frank. Do you have any dandelions yet? I honestly have not noticed, but I'm pretty sure they're going to be here soon. And look, here's the thing though, I haven't really noticed because I'm always probably focused when I'm going out to bee yard or anything else. I'm really not focused on flowers. Next time I go anywhere, I'm going to be a little bit more careful as I look and kind of see what I can see, if there's any pollen, and I'll kind of let y'all know. But probably, I'd have to guess so we probably do. All right, we have 9 more minutes for a live stream. Then I'll go on, and I usually just run these things for about an hour, and then I end them off. So if y'all have any more questions, feel free to put them in there, and then we'll kind of end off. This chat was for a very small thing about Tracheal Mites. You guys can go back to the beginning. It really wasn't a long thing. It was very quick, very self-explanatory, and very easy to understand, I would think. So you can go back and just check that out. Probably like 10-14 minute thing. So it didn't take up like 40 or 30 minutes of this, so you won't have a whole lot to go back over if you want to just find that part. But I would appreciate if y'all watch the whole thing and subscribe and all that good stuff. I'm publishing out some stuff. I also did a video about me putting my deep on top. I need to add a deep on one of my hives, and I decided to put that on there, which was good. I did a little short about that. I really didn't want to upload a video. I just decided to do a little short and upload it. A lot of people watch it, like 500 views, 400, so that's good. A lot of people was able to see. No Life Beekeeper, James Noel. Thanks for checking in, James. Appreciate you. Oh, no problems, Jessica. Absolutely. A lot of times when I'm watching live streams, I miss a good portion of the live streams, unfortunately, and I try to do as well as I can to watch live streams. It can be hard sometimes, I can be honest with y'all, but I watch as many as I can. If I can, I try to watch as much as I can as the replay as I can to support our other beekeepers. Hey Victor, Eastern Shore, Maryland, red pollen coming in, purple dead nails starting to pop in field by hives. Yep, probably what it is, something like that. Probably what it is. Think gun lines. JP titled it with some along the lines of red pollen. This video is a couple years old. I'll look that up, Tim and Hannah. Thanks for sharing that out. I think I probably will look that up and kind of see about that. So I guess we'll kind of start closing it out. I'll let it go for about 4 minutes. But I do want to take a time just to thank y'all for checking in tonight. It's been fun. I'm not going to edit just yet, but I really do appreciate everybody who watches the live streams and videos and stuff like that. I really do appreciate it. It's very fun to do. And I plan to do more guests because I really like doing my live streams with guests a little bit more. Because a lot of times whenever I'm doing these live streams, sometimes it can be hard to come up with a topic, and sometimes those topics I really don't talk long about, so sometimes I have to come up with different topics. But usually whenever I'm doing a live stream with a guest, I have a whole bunch of topics already planned out. Excuse me. Hey Paul, guess I'm checking in just when you're checking out. Still at work listening. Yep, I'm not going to end just yet, Paul, but I'm getting ready to start checking out here. But we're a little, like I said just earlier, a 14-minute thing about Tracheal Mites, and that's about it. I really didn't talk too much about it but James from No Life Beaker, James No, 11 out of 12 dead, 1 alive. I feel you, James. I'm sorry to hear about that. Those things happen. I know a lot of beekeepers have been losing their bees, but this year I've done a much better job as I did the year prior, because I came out in 2024 with 1 colony as well. only one alive. And man, it was tough, to go through that. But a lot of it was just my fault of what I did. Everything, I think what happened was my fault. But I'm sorry to hear that, James. I hope you can expand some this year, which I was able to do, and get up to 10 colonies. Unfortunately, I'm back down at 4. But for me, I'm not gonna be buying any more nukes. I don't know if I mentioned this, but I'm not gonna be buying any more bees. What I'm gonna try to do, and I'm gonna try to sustain it just with 4 colonies and go up from there. So that's something that is good, as long as I can get at least more than half of my colonies out of winter. I can get right back to the number I had or more. But if you get down to 70%, 80%, of your hives not making it, sometimes it can be harder to expand. That's what a lot of these beekeepers are having problems with, which, like I said on my last live stream, I haven't really talked much about this whole, um, die out thing, with all the bees. And the only reason is I just really don't know much about it. I do know a good amount about it. I've heard about it. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I don't know any answers to it. So all I'd be doing is speculating, what's going on. And, I'm just trying to let the information come out. If information comes out and it is big, I might do something about it. But I just kind of want to wait and see what the studies say, which I haven't really heard anything more about it. But we'll see. But I've just been hearing a lot of beekeepers have been losing bees. I don't know if it's maybe more viruses or mite treatment's not working. That's one thing. It could be. I really don't know. So, but I'm gonna do some more mite treatments this year. Have some Apigard left. Maybe try out a little bit of oxalic acid, some oxalic acid strips, and probably some Apigard, and mix that up with a little bit of Apivar. Maybe I've just been hearing Apivar hasn't been working as well because they've been getting more of a resistance. But everything, if you treat nonstop that one chemical, it will get more. Those mites will get resistant to that chemical. So that's what I've been very careful to do. I've only really used Apigard and Apivar, so I really do need to do better at mixing up those treatments. But yeah, I am sorry to hear about that, James. I hope you're able to recover from that. I felt I was in your shoes, coming out with 1 out of 6, and really don't know exactly what happened. Actually, I do know multiple things. Probably varroa mites, beetles, and our derf, and having weak colonies. That's what happened. Yeah. Grayson, maybe the red pollen is from our pear trees by the workshop. I just I need to keep my foot off this little wire. Just read that pear trees produce red, yellow pollen. We'll have to check and see. I gotta look at that up and see what it is. It very well could be. I wouldn't rule anything out of what it could be. But yeah, it could very well be some pears as well. Pears and what Jessica said above. Excuse me. Cool. I think we have one more question. I'll take a couple more questions. I'm going to end this off and let y'all get back to y'all's day. Y'all go on and click the thumbs up button. I'd really appreciate it if y'all would do that. That would help. I'd really appreciate it because that supports me, gets this live stream out to more folks. We have 22 thumbs up already, so excuse me. Thank y'all. Are you mite washing before and after treatments? And I don't want to go on a rant on this, but I'm gonna talk a little bit about mite treatments and mite washes. I'm gonna be honest, and on my channel, I've always been honest on live stream, and a lot of folks may think that a lot of beekeepers don't want to be honest. I know some beekeepers, I kind of mentioned in my new video that I'll be uploading Saturday, that some beekeepers are just nervous to say what's going on or what they did because sometimes they'd feel ashamed or something. A lot of times that can happen, which I don't let that ever happen to me. I always, what, honestly, I feel better letting people know, giving updates of what's going on and what I've done wrong and what I've done right on the YouTube channel. I just felt better doing that. And I also always ask questions and ask people for advice and what they think would do well. So last year I did one mite wash and I did it on the video, and that was it. That's all I did. And I'm gonna be honest about that. I should have done more. It would have been better if I'd done more, did more and all that. I didn't do, like a lot, just one out of one colony, and I didn't get a whole lot of mites. One mite. I still treated, but this year I'm going to do some more testing, which I know a lot of people may, find hardness out of testing, but I'm going to do better at that this year. Do a little test on all 4 colonies and treat if I need to. If I don't need to treat, then I'm not going to treat. But if I do need to treat, I will treat. So that's an honest take there. We're already at 1 hour and 30 seconds. If I see one question slip by, I'll quickly answer it. But I guess we'll kind of go on and kind of start the end this live stream out. If y'all missed the live stream, please go on and rewatch the live stream. I'd really appreciate it. We talked about tracheal mites and a couple other things, mites, and a whole probably about some other things as well. So that's about it. Thank you all for watching. Go on and click the thumbs up button. Share the live stream out if you will. And yes, Tim, that's absolutely right. Honesty will help other beekeepers to have an honest take. I don't like to clip out things. I don't like to clip out things that gone wrong, that go wrong. I like to put the good in the bad. That's what I do. So thank you all for watching. Y'all take care. Y'all have a blessed day, and we will see y'all next time.